Welcome back, my wonderful kindergarten and first grade artists. Last week, I introduced you to the artwork of Faith Ringgold, and this week you should have listened to Faith Ringgold read her story, Tar Beach. And in Tar Beach, Faith Ringgold wrote about a little girl named Cassie Louise Lightfoot who believed that she could fly, and anything she flew over became hers. So what's really important to remember about the story is these important places in Cassie's life and how she drew them so that she could communicate that these were important buildings in her life. So what I want you to do today, we are going to draw a picture of ourselves flying. Now, while we're doing this, I want you to think about one place you could go if you could fly. One place you would go if you could fly. So first, let's draw a picture of ourselves flying. Now, we're going to use simple shapes. We need to start with a circle for our head. You want to make sure your arms are out so that you can balance yourself in the air. So we're going to use rectangles for our arms and legs and a big rectangle or an oval for our bodies. So start with your head. So I'm going to have myself flying this way. So I'm going to start with a circle, make my neck by doing 2 sticks, and then an oval for my body. You can use a rectangle as well. And then rectangles for my arms. Now those are just my arms. I haven't added my hands yet. We're gonna start with our basic shapes and then we'll go back and add more details. So I'm gonna give myself some legs by adding rectangles. I like to turn my paper to make my lines a little more even. Okay, so next I'm going to make ovals for my shoes. All right, because when I land, I want to make sure that my feet are covered. And then to make my hands, I'm going to turn my paper this way. It's going to make it easier. So I'm going to make circles for the palms of my hands. And then you can use, when you're flying, your hands are going to be like this. So your thumbs are on the inside like this. So I'm going to make little ovals. Sometimes we call them sausages for my hands. So little sausage fingers here. There we go. 3, 4, 5. Oop, that one's a little, okay. So now I can add details. So I can erase some of the lines and just kind of outline my hands like this. My fingers and my thumb. Do the same thing over here. Here's my thumb. I'm gonna go this way this time. Right. Okay. So now I'm flying. I should make my hair. So my hair is gonna go, ooh, that's really long. My hair's not that long anymore. So I'm just gonna make some zigzag lines at the bottom, and everywhere my hair overlaps, I'm gonna erase, just like that. Okay, so maybe think about if I want to give myself, oh, maybe I'm going to put myself in some overalls. There we go. So here's my pants. Erase those overlapping lines. There we go. So then I can add more details if I wanted. If I wanted to put some pockets like this, maybe put some flowers on my shirt just by making little curly lines. All right. So I'm gonna finish with myself for now. Then I'm gonna move on to someplace I would fly to. So someplace I've always wanted to go is Hawaii. What do we know that's in Hawaii? We know Hawaii has palm trees. We know Hawaii is made of volcanic rock. So we're gonna need some volcanoes. So in the distance, now I'm gonna make it much smaller than myself because this is how we draw perspective. So if I'm looking down on the island, on one of the islands, I'm gonna imagine that I'm flying above it. So we're gonna do what's called a bird's eye view. That means I am bigger than the things below me because I am closest to your point of view, and the rest of my picture is far away. And a bird's eye view gives us an image of looking down onto the earth. So let's make a volcano. We've got some dripping lava, and of course I'm gonna need some water, right? Because it's an island, so it's surrounded by water. And then we'll make some palm trees. So I'm gonna use leaf shapes for my palm trees to start. That one kind of looks like a banana, just like this. And then to give it a little more detail, I'm gonna put little triangles on the insides. Like this. And that's gonna give my palm trees a little more detail. Maybe put 2 on that one. Okay, so then palm trees have this big bundle at the top. It's kind of hard to see, and they're thin, and they usually get a little bit bigger at the bottom like this. Okay, so let's make some other ones, and I'm going to make this one a little smaller because it's farther away. Maybe add a little more branches. There we go. Put another one back here. You can just keep making palm trees. Another detail that helps with palm trees is when they grow, sometimes you have to trim the palms off. So when they grow, they leave these little marks on the trees that almost look like check marks around the trees, but that's how the palms grew. Okay, almost like it's braided. So I can keep making some more trees and maybe some shrubs or small plants. I can maybe make this a beach and put some waves that are curling up over the shore. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to start to color. You can use markers or crayons, whatever you have available. Make sure you color all of your details, and make sure that when you're coloring, you fill in the spaces fully so that there's not a lot of white space. All right. Okay, as you noticed, I've got my sky colored, I have my water, my palm trees. I tried to make sure that I filled in all the spaces. One good way is if you have crayons that are already broken and there's just a little bit of paper on them, you can take the paper off and use the side of the crayon if you want. You don't have to take the paper off fully to do that either. So if you want to just use the side of the crayon to fill in bigger spaces all at once, you'll also get a little bit of texture from your table underneath, which is fine. Just make sure you're holding that paper down really well. And then if you want, you can go back in and just fill in those spaces by coloring. All right, so have fun. I can't wait to see what creative ideas you wonderful kindergarten and first grade artists come up with. And don't forget, invite your family to join you and ask them where they would go if they could fly. All right. Thank you, and don't forget to post your wonderful artwork on Flipgrid.